Scaling your real estate photography business to the point where you have a team and multiple photographers is an awesome way to grow your business and is ultimately the way to make more money if that is your goal, and maybe have more time freedom if you don't always want to be shooting every day. So in this video, I want to break down the things that you can absolutely do wrong to make it worse as you scale your business. That way you can build your business correctly in the first place. And if you're someone who's already built a business and made some of these mistakes, hopefully this will help you make your business more profitable. Now, the inspiration for this video is a call we had with a person who just joined coaching the other day, whose business was frankly a mess. And I have permission to share the story. I'm not going to share their name, but here's generally what happened. They told us that their business does $330,000 a year in revenue. And that's great. Initially sounds pretty good, right? But then they followed it by saying their business spent $310,000 in expenses last year. So obviously they came to us because they don't want to make $20,000. There's no point in having a business that grows that much if you're only making $20,000 in profit, because as a solo photographer, you should be able to make somewhere around 120 to 150 grand a year if you're fully maxed out with like an 80% profit margin. So about 100 or a little bit over 100K per year in profit. So this shows something that happens a lot, where someone starts their business, they start making it as a solo operator, they're doing great, they're making 80, 100, 120K a year take home, and they go, this is awesome, let's scale it to the next level and start growing a team. And then that's where everything goes wrong. They certainly grow the team, but they also significantly grow their expenses and absolutely devastate their profit margins. So on this video, I'm going to break down 3 mistakes that people make that get you to this point, basically, this point where your business isn't profitable, you're doing a lot of work, so that if you're number one, just starting your business, you can start and grow it correctly the first time without having to make these painful mistakes. And number 2, if you already have a real estate media business, but you feel like the person I just talked about, your business isn't as profitable as you want it to be, maybe you've actually gone down in profitability and you want to absolutely reverse that, then this video is for you. And I'm going to break down those 3 mistakes now. So the first mistake is hiring your first employee too early, and then that kind of setting up a schedule for when you need to hire, basically helping you build a business isn't profitable. So here's what that looks like. You build your business to $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month, maybe $12,000 a month, and somewhere in that range you go, I literally can't do this all by myself anymore. I can't fit enough shoots in. And so instead of challenging yourself on that belief and saying, how can I make my business more efficient so that I can do more before I hire, you just go, this is what business growth looks like. So let me hire somebody. And in our opinion, you absolutely should not hire anyone unless you have a very, very good reason before $15,000 a month. So you should be doing $15,000 a month in average revenue by yourself before you ever bring someone on board. And the reason most people don't is, like I said, they're busy. They feel like they can't possibly do any more. I'll talk about why in a second. And on top of that, they're feeling somewhat successful, right? You built a business to 10K a month. You're probably making 8K a month in profit. You're making $100,000 a year in your own business, and you're excited and optimistic about the future, as you should be. But you let that optimism help you make some really bad decisions that you'll regret in the future. And so why you need to wait to 15 is because if you're not to that point, it's going to be very hard to scale your business. And the way you get to that point, if you're doing 10K a month and you feel like you can't do it anymore and get to 15 or even better, 18 or 20, like a lot of our coaching clients do before they hire, is you have to absolutely grind out the efficiency within your business. So you have to get your time on location down. You do that by making your workflow more simple, making it easier to shoot a house so you can fit more in a day. You make it so your admin work and your QCing photos in the morning doesn't take nearly as much time. There's a lot of things you can do. You can schedule more efficiently, right? But a lot of people don't do that. They just, hey, I'm at 10K a month. I can't handle anymore. Let me hire. I know that because I did that. It's absolutely not a good decision. So first thing we do when you get to 10K and say you can't do it anymore is make sure that you have all those efficiencies in place. And that will allow you to get to 15 or maybe even 18K a month, depending on your market, by yourself before you hire. And the reason you want to do that is because of this. If you hire, let's say at 10K a month, a lot of people think they're too busy then, and they're nowhere near busy. We just have to rearrange how they do it. It makes their schedule easier, actually, and they can do more. But let's say you're at 10K a month and you're making 8K a month in profit. It's about normal. About 80% as a solo operator is pretty good. So you're making 8K a month in profit, and you hire somebody, and we'll talk more about hiring structure in a second, but let's say you hire them for 4K a month all in. That includes their taxes and everything you have to pay. Well, you absolutely just cut your profit in half, but you didn't double the amount of shoots you can do because they're not going to do as much as you can. They're just not. It's different when someone's an employee. So you cut your profit in half, and now you not only have to get more shoots on your schedule to make up that profit, but you're making less in the meantime and having to go through all the things that new managers have to go through. Learn how to do HR and learn how to manage an employee and handle admin work for now 2 people shooting and all the questions from your photographer. And so you were in a good place. You were fully, full of optimism, doing 10K a month, making 8K. Now you're doing 10K a month, making 4K, and you have more work. You start to go like, what the heck? And you think, okay, the solution to this is to get busier, to get more clients. And that's absolutely a good idea. But the situation just gets worse because you get more clients. Now you have the admin work from more clients, 2 shooters, all the questions. You go, we're too busy again. And you hire a 3rd photographer. Meanwhile, you have 2 photographers shooting. You have 0 extra time in your day for real this time because you're dealing with shooting all those houses yourself. You're still shooting a full load, remember, because you don't have the money to hire someone to do that or you're not going to make any profit. And so it's this self-repeating cycle where you just get into a place where you're not making much profit. And so we absolutely recommend pushing your business and not hiring too early to at least 15K a month. Mistake number 2, and this is along the lines of mistake number 1, it's something that you will do if you do mistake number 1, but you just don't have the systems in place to scale your business. So maybe you do use something like Spiro, which is what we use at Norman & Young for your order management, delivery, and everything, but maybe you don't. Maybe you use one software, QuickBooks, to invoice and you deliver through Pixieset and you do whatever through whatever, right? You really have to put in systems and processes before you hire to make your business efficient. And that's what's really going to allow you to do what we talked about in number 1, which is get to 18K. But a lot of people don't. They just try to scale that mess. And so really, you got to look at your business. And that's one of the biggest things we do in launch. And then especially in our forward program, which is people who have an established business, is we go, how can we get the more work done with the same amount of your time? So how can we make your business more efficient? You put systems in place, you schedule more efficiently. A big mistake that a lot of people make is their workflow is complicated and they over-critique the photos. So not only do you maybe think you need to use Flash in your business or that your clients really need this certain type of workflow that takes you forever, but you're also, when you get those photos back from your editor, you're spending way too long quality control checking them. And instead of that, you could be doing a shoot or you could be getting more clients. And so you really bottleneck yourself from a systems and workflow perspective. And in order to scale your business, you need to make your workflow simpler, not more complex. One of the mistakes I made is I thought that adding more and making my stuff better would make me more money and more clients. And it does the opposite, actually. It makes you more poor and have less satisfied clients because you're not able to do the things they care about, which are quick turnaround, open availability, good service because you're mad because you're not making any money and you're stressed because your schedule is so busy and nothing's going well. So the key to that, and the whole point of number 2 in this video, is to absolutely make sure your systems are locked down, automate everything you can. If you haven't heard of a virtual assistant, having a VA on your team is a great way to take some of that load off your schedule and really optimize your business from a systems perspective. And then number 3, one of the biggest mistakes of them all, and this is more of a mindset one, but hang with me because it'll get tactical in a second. Most people do not focus on profit at all. When I was growing my business, I was so revenue focused, right? I was like, I need 10K and then 20K months and 30K months and 40K months. And I actually framed my first 50K month because I was so excited about it. What I'm not saying is that revenue doesn't matter. You obviously can't make 20K a month in profit if your business only makes 10K in revenue. But if you focus only on revenue, where focus goes, energy flows, as Tony Robbins says, right? You're putting emphasis on growing your revenue, which is good. But if you don't think about your profit, you don't track your profit, and you don't have goals for your own personal income, it's going to be really hard for you to build that profitable business that you wanted to in the first place, right? Because you probably got into business, my guess, is one of 2 things or both: to make more money and to have more time and more freedom. A lot of people who build a business and scale it lose those because they're not focused on them. And so number 1 is you absolutely need to have a profit goal. But number 2 is when you have that profit goal, you need to build your business in a way that's going to generate more profit. So for example, let's say you're doing 10K a month in revenue, making 8K in profit as a solo operator. That's good. But when you build your business to 20 or 30K a month, that number needs to go up, right? Like that's the whole point. Otherwise, there's not really a reason to scale. And so what happens to a lot of people is they make 8K as a solo photographer and then they go to 20 and they're making 8K still. And it's like, okay, maybe there's a growth season where you're not making a lot of profit, but then they get to 30 and they're making 8. Or worse, they're making 6, it goes down, right? And so really have an idea of what you need in profit from your business and build your business strategically so that you can maximize that profit. Because something I used to believe was I'll build my business big and then I'll make it profitable later, make more money later. And I didn't make bad money when I was building my business. When we did 50K months, I'd usually make over 20K in profit, but it could have been better and it could have been less bad in slower season where I would make less, right? I could have maximized profit more efficiently. And something that I absolutely believe today is profit is the indicator of a healthy business. The more profit you have, theoretically, your business is more healthy, at least most of the time it is. And I kind of tricked myself to be saying I was investing in my business and I was hiring ahead of time and I'd make the profit later, but that was really an excuse to say I didn't know how to make profit now and still keep my business growing. And so as you're building your business, whether you're just starting or you're that business that's doing 360K a year and only making 30K in profit, part of this reframe starts with, okay, I need my business to make more money as I grow. When your business is doing 500K a year in revenue, you need to be making more than when it was just you shooting. Otherwise, there's not a point, right? Yeah, maybe you'd say I have more time back, but I think you can have more time back and more money if you focus on actually building a business that does that. Because again, you're solving a problem when you start a business, right? You're solving a problem for your clients, but hopefully you're also solving a problem for yourself. And so being very aware of what that problem is and be like, hey, I want to make 200K a year, I want to make 300, I want to make 400K a year take home, having that number in mind and just being like, what would it take to do that? Because the math problem that you're solving, if you're going to put all that effort in to find the answer, you might as well find an answer that benefits you. And so I absolutely believe that you can build a business that does $500 or $1 million in revenue a year. But I also believe that if you don't have a profit goal, it's not going to be a profitable business. It's not going to be as fun as you thought. So keep these in mind as you grow your business. And I don't want this video to be all doom and gloom. Like, I think growing your business and scaling it is awesome, and it's absolutely a great thing. You can create more money for yourself, you can create more time for you can create opportunity for employees. And so I think it's the right move. And so everybody agrees that real estate media is awesome as a solo shooter. You know, it's great to make 8, 10, 12, whatever $1,000 a month, sometimes more in a lot of cases in take-home income. And I don't want this video to make you think that that is the sweet spot and that you shouldn't scale. What I want this video to do is give you some awareness about what you may run into and a little bit more insight on how to fix it so that you can build that awesome business, because I absolutely think scaling my business was the best decision I ever made. I'm so grateful for it. Gave me all my time back. I now make 6 figures a year from that business with zero work. I do a 30-minute meeting once a week. I don't even have to. I just do it because I like coaching that business too. And then you can do with that extra time what you want, right? I could choose to run that business and make more, or I could choose to have that business run by itself and hire a team and make a little less, but still 6 figures a year. And for me, that was the option because I wanted to start a coaching business. I'm an entrepreneur. I like doing new stuff. And so that was a fun challenge for me. And I think ownership is important. So it's kind of along my mission to help others build businesses. But you get to decide what that is for you. The thing is, you only get that chance if you build the business correctly. And so I hope this video helps you do that. And if you're either of those two people, you're just starting your business, you want to launch effectively and launch without making all the mistakes that I did, we'd love to work with you in coaching. And equally, if you have a business and it's not great, don't be ashamed of it. Like, you should be ashamed to not get help to fix it, right? Because it's up to you to do that. You're the owner. Likewise, we'd like to work with you in coaching and help you fix that. And so if you haven't applied for coaching, click the link below, talk with Rod, Carl, or Philippe on my team. We like to build a game plan for you. We're not a high pressure team. We'll show you what it would look like to work with us, what we can guarantee you, and then you get to decide if that's the move you want to make. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one.